And now the matrix comes down. It's fascinating to watch it all play out. Those that are conscious creators that are tuned into this podcast, you're seeing a bigger picture, and it's actually a time to celebrate. And as we are critical thinkers, are you a critical thinker? Are you a conscious creator? That's why you're here today. It's good to see you. You're going to have to see the bigger picture of the world that we live in and the control that the matrix can have on your everyday life. I know many people have woke up that we do live in a matrix, and I'm going to be discussing this all today. In recent times, we are now witnessing the NPCs, the Hylics of the world. They're beginning to malfunction with revelations of the Hantavirus. We're in alien disclosure season. Did you know this? Okay. So if you are a conscious person and you're actually now able to witness, you're going to see a bigger part of the matrix. This is year one for those that are new to this podcast. This is year one. And the old matrix, the old world, it can't be here anymore. But you, the conscious person, you're going to have to see the bigger picture. And today, it's a very powerful time to really dive into what we are literally witnessing. You are witnessing things. You said, when will I actually witness these things? Because you've been a conscious person. You might have been awake since 2001, maybe 2012, maybe 2020. We're all going through phases and phases. And 2020 was the big one. That was the big energy year, okay? And it's all going to be right in front of our face right now. If you're able to hold your attention throughout this podcast, you are going to be able to now create a reality for yourself, for your family, for your community. It's so important. All right. If you're new to the channel, I'm Michael. I discuss the ascension journey, psychology, quantum physics, and how you can escape the matrix. And you will be able to escape the matrix today. You're going to hear this. You're going to hear stuff in this podcast today. You say, you know what? I never heard anything like this before. We need to leave the whole cookie cutter, the NPC world. And when you're finally able to see NPCs, you will realize how the herd, if you will, and I have science for this today, the herd is actually steering you, right? And it's actually manipulating your free will. You have free will. And the more people see this. So a lot of people went on a journey in a post-2020 world. And this recent, if you see the revelations and the reactions of all different types of people to this recent Hantavirus outbreak, it's getting you to start questioning how, are you a critical thinker? And then you're seeing, many coincidences, synchronicities, and then there's people that are behaving two totally different ways. And so you start to see, and you could see people just reciting things that are said. People are going straight to fear. There is also at the same time, as we broke this down, how can you possibly survive this year if you're still living the modern life? That was a big one. I want you to really think about that. Did you disconnect from the modern world, right? You got to disconnect from there's a literal matrix waiting for you. Okay, there's a literal matrix out there, all right? So in this reality of the matrix, there are things, energetic systems within systems, and there are things called pendulums. And you are able to identify the NPCs, and you could see them malfunction. and you can no longer be gaslit anymore. Maybe you were gaslit years ago. Was that you? Are you on this podcast today or watching the replay? How you doing? You were gaslit, right? Don't worry, your Uncle Mike's got your back, kid, till the end of the line. Were you gaslit in the raise your hand, write a comment, and we can no longer be gaslit by the NPCs of the world. And then you say to yourself, well, Uncle Mike, how are the NPCs operating? So it's called a pendulum, all right? And this is a self-sustaining energy structure of collective thought of a single idea. Have you witnessed that in life? And it's really important. What I do here, we're taking the psychology, we're taking the quantum physics, and now, you might go out on the internet and you might have heard about NPCs, and maybe you've seen the memes, right? Maybe you studied about the Hilux of the world, right? So what we do here is we could take a real life example, right? So what we're taking today is the reaction of the Hantavirus outbreak, and just sit back and let's study the psychology of the reaction of different types of people in the world. It's a very deep podcast if you're new. All right. So now we're gonna insert that there are pendulums that are operating out of the matrix. It's not just a movie. It was actually a documentary about the world. And so when we're focused on pendulums, if you ignore this fact of pendulums, if you are aware of pendulums, then and only then will you be able to take back control of your everyday life. So what are pendulums? It's a self-sustaining energy structure of collective thought of a single idea. Are you a free spirit? Do you have a soul? Right? Do you practice critical thinking? Can you think for yourself? Answer any of the questions, right? So the pendulum is operating a certain way. And when we look at the collective, right? The herd is there to steer you astray. The herd is designed to prevent you from being who you truthfully are. It is literally the greatest privilege of a lifetime, is to literally live and be who you truthfully are. It's your soul. Okay. Carl Jung said that it's the greatest privilege of a lifetime to wake up one day and this is your soul. So your soul is getting, oh, you know what? I don't want to go along with what the herd's saying. I don't want to go with the fear. Right? And so your soul is stirring you up. And this is what's stirring up to the surface right now. And there are people that are ripe and prime for the taking right now. Absolutely. Oh yeah. We're in alien disclosure season. Did you have it on your bingo cards, baby? Right. So what I've seen, and I present real life evidence. I study what's literally happening right now. You could click subscribe. There is no off season for Our Everyday Lives. You're going to love this channel. And now, because we're at this place, you'll see, I saw like a video, right? And 250,000 views in one day because, these aliens are giving a transmission of what's coming, right? And, the Palladians say this and it gets 250,000 views and the people are ready to go. And all of these things, whether it's fear, whether it's a savior coming to get you, all these other things, you got to focus on to what Uncle Mike is teaching you right now. All of the things, all of the distractions, all of the fear. So you have one thing that's stirring it up. Okay, we got fear coming in. All right. Now we got the aliens coming in. Right. I told you it was coming. Bookmark this channel. Right. You're going to love it. Okay. So all of the things, what's the psychology? What is all of these things actually doing? It is taking you out of the now moment. It is taking you out of the now moment because now you got fears rising up to the surface. It's rising. And people are riddled with fear, and it's understandable. And then what happens is the pendulum, it pulls more and more. And then there's people that are lining up. I told you they're going to be bringing out Glip Glab pretty soon. Glip Glab is coming, right? and it's all cool. So you, the person that's getting this message, you have to start seeing that this is a matrix. This is parts of the matrix. These are cogs of the matrix. And it's not, all I can do is exist in this matrix. So don't try, Morpheus actually told us this, do not try to wake anyone up. And I know that you might be an empath. I know this is difficult for a lot of people. You will waste your life force energy. You could raise your hand, leave a comment about this. It is what it is. There is no longer a need for censorship in the world. There is no longer need for anything. We have to come to terms with this is what it is. This is the truth. And I've been on a journey for over 7 years doing this and also studying prior to this. It is what it is. Creation is already done. The split has already happened. It's finished. Now, all you could do is focus on your everyday life. It's just the answer, kid. The more that you try to, you're going to press against this wall. You're going to try to change certain things. Who's the only person that you could change in this world? I know there's new people to this channel. I appreciate you coming on. You're going to learn a lot here. But the class, right? Class is in session, right? Or who's the only person that you could change? Who's the only person that you are responsible for? And when you realize that we're in a matrix, right? You let go of it's because it becomes an internal battle. Yeah. It's only you. You might be the only person here, kid. And you're going to have to, I know this is very deep one today because the energy's gone real high. I told you it was coming. At the end of this podcast, I will present if you're new, a connected podcast and a world famous video that goes over these topics. We're very thorough on this channel, and the people that are able to focus their attention daily, you are able to escape the matrix. And now you're simply playing a game. It's just a game, kid. It's just a game. And I had to go on my own spiritual journey. I had to see things. I see things that I didn't see those things 7 years ago. You know, you got to really drop the ego and know that this is part of the game. It is part of the game to say, you know what? Your only job is when presented with new information, you make a free will choice and then you expand your consciousness. This is called ascension for anyone that's new. 7 years ago, I could sit here today and say, you know, I was wrong about things because the TV told me things when I was younger, right? Did you go through this process already? So it is part of the game. So what you're getting from this message today, because there are people, right? I recently did a video. This is also Mental Health Awareness Month. A lot of people that they're having a hard time with this crazy world. Right? We're here to support you on this channel. But what you need to do, you must drop the fear. And I discussed that. A lot of people resonated with that video. There will be fear and traumas coming up. Why is that so? Because you hold on to, in this vessel here, right? You're the soul that's operating this system here. People have traumas from 2020, and now they come up to the surface. It's a natural reaction. They've been stored in the body, right? And there are things that we can do to release those traumas. And then we also we're living in a world, if you're in the organic world, some people are plugged into the matrix. And we'll talk more about those receptors over the upcoming weeks. If you are plugged into the organic world, well, what's the organic world? Oh, it's called the Schumann resonance. Yeah, it's the frequency of the world that we live in. And sometimes we are given these assisted energies that have been knocking these traumas. How many people are in the chat? You're watching the replay and you say, you know what, these traumas were coming up, or certain parts of the body. The main place is the solar plexus. Well, why was it the solar plexus? Because in the solar plexus, you hold anxiety, fear of the future. And now we went into like an alternate universe, like an alternate reality. right? And you thought, kid, you thought you were going to live your life a certain way. We are literally going through a quantum shift. If there are people, if there are NPCs in the world that ask you, what is your 5-year plan? And they're operating out of the rational brain, you're lost. Because the people that have been awake, how many of you can possibly keep up with the modern life? And you're starting to see this. We discussed the quickening, the perception of time is speeding up, right? And then there's people that will continuously move along. Oh, well, you know what? We got the fear of this, and I gotta do this, and I have to avoid actually living life. And you better avoid life too. Nah, get out of my face. Don't tell me what to do. That's how you have to be. This is a channel of empowered souls, light warriors. And now it's the battle. Well, where's the battlefield? The battlefield's in the brain. The battlefield's on the inside. You don't go outside to battle. It has to be on the inside. Because once you fix this on the inside, then and only then that matrix, that outer world, which is actually a broadcasted frequency, then it changes. And so now humanity is given a loop. It's up to you right now. Was there critical thinking in a post-2020 world? There is literally loops. So if there is a person, you're here today, and you say, you know what, I've realized that, I noticed that there's a loop in my life. Maybe you kept attracting the same type of relationship. Maybe you kept having the same type of experience, and it kept looping over and over and over and over and over. So that's a frequency, okay? Your actual life, okay? So you're going to have to throw out the mainstream model of life and the earth, and now we're going to have to take a quantum physics look at this, okay? So now what do we see in society as a whole? We see a loop occurring right now. There are people that are seeing this, and it looks like very similar. This is your test from God. This is your test from the universe. Are you ready to rip the matrix cord out of you? Are you free of the matrix? Or do you belong to Agent Smith? Now we could see clearly. And once you are able to see this, if you did not see this, right? None of us saw this years ago. So listen carefully. Once you see the loop in your life, then you could break free of the loop and say, okay, I know I'm doing this pattern. I wanted my life to change, but I'm still doing the same thing. Well, now you go out into society. I teach the micro and the macro. So society as a whole operates the same way. Do you see, if you take the collective of the world, do you see that there's a loop that's occurring? And if you, the person that's a free thinker, critical thinker, and if you venture out of that, all of a sudden, they try to pull you back in, baby. Did you witness it? So that's why you're going to have to be strong at this time, and I recently, I discussed some of these alien UFO disclosure files. We have a tremendous Facebook. You could hit me up on Facebook. We shared some of them. But what we're seeing is it's always the people, and people will always be at a certain frequency. You, if you're able to think, if you want to create, you do not walk on eggshells. It is not your problem. If someone wants to do something, if someone wants to, wear a mask or whatever, then that's their everyday life. You're in charge of your everyday life. Smash the like button if you resonate with that. You got to be strong now. Because Glip Glab is coming, baby. I told you Glip Glab was coming, right? This guy's like a prophet, okay? But actually, if you start to study quantum physics, if you study pendulums, if you study human behavior, and that's what I do, that's how I could be like a prophet. I could tell you it's coming, and here it is. And Glip Glab is coming. A lot of people, but here we are. And this is all about the most precious resource in the universe. And where's the money? Where's the money? It's the currency. Where is it? It's your attention. That's why you pay it. And what you consume becomes you. What you consume, what are you putting in that body? See, what you consume is not only what you eat and drink, it's what you watch. Ooh, TV. I showed on TV. And what you listen to. So it's my honor to show up every day with empowered content for conscious creators. And if you pay attention here every day, you're going to be marked safe from all the weird stuff that's about to pop off. And some people will never hear you. It's one of my top videos. They can't hear you anymore. So you got to focus on you, kid. Soulstar Productions, thank you so much for the super chat. Soulstar writes, Hulk, smash the like button for Uncle Mike. I appreciate that. Everyone smash the like button. Thank you so much for that, Soulstar Productions. I love you. I appreciate that. In a world full of fake, have the courage to be authentic. In a world full of fake, and you'll see the content. What is the content to? I'm giving you the energy theme. It's going to take you out of the now moment. It's going to take you out of a certain attribute. And now we're going to see this right now. Those that are very focused. And now you could look at the spiritual battle. Now it is Legion versus who? I am. I am is the King of Kings. And now you see it. Now you see the bigger picture. And you thought the Matrix was a joke. So I'm also here I see what you're right, Caroline. And you're going to have to think differently it is different. It is not good versus evil. But you're going to see a shift of conscious versus unconscious. I know it's a very deep thing. Because if you watch my main video on a quantum event, you don't understand the roles. We are in the game. This is a game. And some people might appear to you as a bad person, quote unquote. An event. Watch my video on quantum event. I've lived through it. So I have to sit down. I have to start saying, I got to constantly go on the inside. I got to do the inner work. And I say, wow, if this event didn't happen, I wouldn't be where I am today. I wouldn't have had an opportunity to do the inner work. And a lot of people, that's why a lot resonated with that beach. I was walking on the beach and I'm telling you all, I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for all the crazy stuff that happened. But guess what? We had 2020, and now we have 2026. Well, what's 2026? Year one. Year one. You have to go inside. Because you're going to see, oh, wow. Oh, mystified. Wow, look at all the views here. They're talking about, these aliens that are going to come to save us and all this other stuff. Oh, that's fine. Everyone could do whatever they want. But at the end of the day, I always share about this. When you understand this is a matrix, kid. And there is only one way that you will be able to succeed in this matrix. And if you fall for the NPCs and what then that's fine. But there's a time period at the end of the day, that window when your head hits the pillow, that is the answer all the time. You love that, Sharon? This is just the truth. You see, this is done by design. And if you are walked upon, right? Here is what everyone's doing, and it's hard. It's hard. I'm not saying it's easy. It's hard to go against. It's hard to step up against gaslighting and a robotic repeat. It's wash, rinse, repeat. It's the same thing. It's the cookie cutter. And the second that you are, and that's why we're getting into the psychology today, ladies and gentlemen. This is a big moment in the history of humanity. It's a big podcast we got going on right now. When you are, what you are to do, so now we're presented with the Hantavirus situation. And I see it, and I could sit back and I watch people. They write certain things on Facebook, and then I see other people writing these other things on Facebook. And you're going to see all these things and the attributes. I love you too, Tara. I appreciate everyone showing up. All these things that you're going to see in the world. And there will be those that go for the distractions. Regina's writing it right now. You could go for the distractions. That's your prerogative. My only job is to be responsible for me. I know in the Matrix world, they say, they use terms like selfish, which the NPCs do. And they want you to get this obligation, all right? You click subscribe if you're new. And what did I tell you? We're leaving a life of obligation. I know there's new people. You say, yeah, I felt like I was obligated for this stuff. I felt I was obligated, and you lost yourself. And maybe your relationship or maybe your family suffered because you were going to the Matrix. You're putting your life force into the Matrix, and you weren't going to this beautiful phrase. It's called unconditional love. And some people will belong to Agent Smith. And that's fine. I got to go about my everyday life. And once you see it, it's fit, and you just move forward. It doesn't affect you anymore. Joe, they're going to line up. I'm telling you, what a clip. It's finally here. Everyone's going to say, this guy said it years ahead of time. How you doing? Look, I'm on the TV, everyone. Click subscribe today. All right. So this is just how it is. But if you are a person, you are going to have to do the inner work. It's period, the end. I'm going to hold a crystal. I'm going to do this. I'm going to hire that. I'm going to go on this group over here. And again, you can do all of these modalities. They are modalities. They are never the answer. All these things, and that's why I study these very deep concepts. It is a biblical time. There is Legion. And there is the King of Kings. Who? I am. I am. You want to write one in the chat? You pick one. Pick a path. Pick a lane. And stay TF out of the way. That's how you have to live your life. Because it's difficult. It's difficult. These people, I don't fit in. And the people are suffering. You feel it. You feel it in your soul. Your soul is feeling it. You say, I don't fit into this world. Right? But you have to think differently about this world. I had to think differently about this world. And you have to accept. I have to accept certain things. I have to accept that this is we signed up for this life. All right? If you're new to this, you studied Dolores Cannon. We signed up for Earth School. In this matrix, it's a real thing. And you signed up. So we have to accept it. I have to accept it. And again, you just know what it is. You go about your life. You could say, that's nice. And once you see, it's the same thing. It's the outer and the inner. Anyone that wants to learn how to manifest, you can watch my manifestation playlist. You have to actually see the loop. You see the loop of your life. So now when you see now you go out into the society, into the human collective, the collective consciousness. So your consciousness, the collective consciousness works the same way. This is quantum physics on this channel, right? And you have to know this. So when you start to see your reality, you could say, okay, my life, it's looping over here. These are the attributes here. Now you go out into the world and you could see the loops of society. You could see the loops. You could actually see the pendulum, and it's gathering more energy of the collective thought, and it's gathering more energy from a single idea. But you are not here to be a single idea. You are here as a sovereign soul. Are you a sovereign soul, or are you an NPC? It's free will. You can be that. I'm just here to empower you. I'm just here to allow you to remember. And we are in FAFO season, ladies and gentlemen, and I lived through this as well, being an empath. I'm actually a big cuddly creature. I love you so much. You could put the hearts. I like to have some love too, but you're gonna have to be strong, because I've seen this, and a lot of people know about my journey. I was disrespected for having the thinking for myself, right? Thinking for yourself. And you see people that maybe were your coworkers, your friends, disrespect you, right? So you're going to have to come to this place in your life, and you're going to see it right now. And that's why it gets so crazy. Like some people say, people like my post on Clown World. Do you see Clown World? Bring in the clowns. So upon the moment that you see it, that's why people are saying, but why are all these things coming in? Now you got this. Now you got alien. Why is there alien? Why is it all this? Because if you can't see, there's people that can't see it. It must get. I'm sorry to say this, ladies and gentlemen, but those that are conscious warriors will get it. It must get so out of control that finally you can see the fabric of the matrix. Do you get it now? Do you get it? It has to get so out of control. I'll give you, and I talk about my life, and I'm grateful that I went through very tough times. And in my life, I said, why has it got to be so tough? And I had to stand up as one versus all. I had to be one versus all. I said, God, why'd you leave me here one versus all? I got no backup, kid. I had nothing. Because then you see the reality. It's the only, and that's the way out. It's got to get so intense. People that, if you're new to the channel, there is a time period, and you will have this multiple times. It's called the dark night of the soul. Not the looping of the same day of the NPC. No, it's called the dark night of the soul. And a lot of souls in this world right now, you feel so cold. Do you feel it? You're supposed to feel, especially our men. I did a very powerful video yesterday. You should really listen to it, especially for our men. Right? You feel so cold. You got to feel warmth. You got to feel love. And a lot of people saw this, and I shared this in the video. I'll put it at the end here. But I see people research, and they say, wow, look at all the content in the movies and the shows created in the 90s. Look at all that beautiful stuff, right? Did you grow up in the 90s like me? Right? And now it's all that gray NPC. Now something happened. So you have to take a simple example like that and think about it and go back and say, wow, what happened? Where's the flavors? Where's the colors? Right? Life is supposed to be it's not all supposed to be the same, right? The same could be the love, it's the frequencies, right? But we respect one another, right? For being all different, everything. Not all the same, not all the gray. Got to be different, got to think different, because that's what enriches our everyday life. And there will be people, and that's fine, that the batteries go to the new matrix. That's fine. But you're going to see people line up. You want to bookmark this video? You can. You come back to it. I call them receipts on this channel for anyone that's new. I call them receipts. And you're going to see people. And it is the mothership. And again, I listen, there's all different life forms. Come to terms with it. But there's a bigger picture in mind, because through fear, people, they're ready to worship, kid. It is better. How you doing? Right? It is better to be a warrior in a garden, not a gardener in a war. A lot of people love that motivation. I give motivational speeches on this channel too. Click subscribe. And what we need is the lighthouses with everyday life examples, showing other people. Like on my journey, we're just passing it forward to one another. So I inspire people, and there's people that inspire me. And collectively, right, this is how we break free of the oh, you didn't have to do it. I didn't have to do it. Wow, look at what this man accomplished. Look at what this guy accomplished. Look at what this woman accomplished, right? Wow. We don't have to fit into the narrative. We don't have to sit there all day glued to our TV. I saw it on TV. It's got to be real. Okay? And sometimes in life, we have to be triggered, and we have to feel the pain. The pain is part of the journey, ladies and gentlemen. I've been through a lot of pain. And some days I say, wow, well, will there ever be a day where there'll be, and maybe, who knows what the future holds. But all there is, and this, again, all there is the power of now. And that's why people are left in the dust, because they're literally with fear. They live their life in a matrix construct. They are in the brain. They are operating out of their reticular activating system. Okay? You're going to watch the video at the end of this. We went over this already. And then when you start to realize, wow, the reticular activating system in the brain was controlling me, then, right? Not that the, remember they had the plug in the back of the brain in the matrix? Not that it's that's where the control system is. It's your RAS. That's the answer here. That's the answer. Regina writes, nailed it. I love to nail it. That's what we need to do. But if you are just, see, you can just have the collective take you wherever they're going, just mosey on, but then you have to become the captain of your ship. It's about your everyday life. It's about your everyday life. So when you see this, and then like I could see things, I say, certain things don't make sense. Where is this? And again, I am not to say that I do feel that there are going to be things that are going to actually happen in the it is there, but you are only responsible for your everyday life. Where is it actually coming from? Some people are more overwhelmed by the fear of blank than the actual, fill in the blank. Whatever it is. Maybe it's coming off the cruise ship. Maybe it's coming off the mothership. I made a new one. You got to be on the podcast live. You see how the brain works live? So it could be coming off the cruise ship. It could be coming off the mothership. It could come from anywhere. Not to deny these things, but it's always you at the end of the day. Caroline writes, no one is coming to save you. So you better become the superhero. You should watch that one too. I was swinging the hammer in that one. I appreciate all of you. It is a very powerful time period. Now in a post-2020 world, it got so intense, and you're getting the traumas that are coming up. You have things coming off cruise ships. You have things coming off the mothership. You're going to see the whole kit and caboodle. How can you possibly keep up if you're distracted with Instagram? Right? It's all distractions. And it's designed, there's going to be more. We talked about this recently. More and more and more. So how can you keep up? It's designed this way. It's going to be more and more. And let's give them some more. And let's bring out more clowns. And they're swinging from the rafters. And here's another one. And here's this. Book it, kid. And when we lead, we got to lead by example through this. It's not to be denied. It's not to say everything. There are real, actual things. But you don't want to be, and you're going to see it. Wow, why is this person getting so angry when thinking it's called cognitive dissonance of the NPC. It's called cognitive dissonance. And again, their reaction to you and your truth it's not an evaluation of you, right? It's because the belief systems that they held their entire life are being challenged. So like a child that hasn't grown up from elementary school, they're going to lash out at you. If you resonated with today's talk and you love that, I really appreciate if you smash the like button today. It allows others to get this message, maybe start to think differently about your everyday life. Maybe you said, you know what, I never knew that the Matrix, they had these things. I never knew what a pendulum was. If you are able to identify pendulums, book this, click subscribe, learn how to manifest. If you understand pendulums, you will avoid the Matrix. It's so powerful. We have a lot of powerful stuff on this channel. You can and that pendulum is gonna keep going, and it's easy to get sucked into that. Think about that vortex. Some people talk about the vortex. There's good, there's bad, there's all different things. That's why in the world you must go on inside first. Must go inside for writing it down. Must go inside first. Must sit alone out on the beach. Must sit in silence for a period of time, not to avoid the whole world forever. I know there's a lot of empaths out there. You feel the density of the herd, right? I was talking to someone yesterday, and she was explaining how she feels deeply. The people that are on this podcast, you feel deeply. You feel these energies. And the way that you feel, it's not to be gaslit, and we're not tolerating gaslighting anymore. I have a full video on gaslighting. Like, you have to understand all these concepts of psychology. You have to understand I have to be a generalist. That's what I am. I don't fit into a box when I come out here. And that's why I appreciate the community support. Every time you hit the like, if you could click subscribe, I appreciate that. Because in this world, the algorithms, they're going to put you in. You cannot be in a box. You will be lost. I am a generalist, and I'm well-rounded, and I got to talk about everything. And it's the only way through. And in the world, they want to put you in a box, nice and easy. Like, you might have came across this talk today and you say, I learned new things. I never knew these things. That's what I'm here to do. And it's not an easy job, but someone's got to do it, right? This is what God asked me to do. Kanga Kicks, thank you so much for the super chat. Have you heard about my Savior Prophet Manny? Taught me spiritual knowledge and gnosis. Gnosis is so important, which means knowledge. With the wars, people will find him. I don't know about these things, but there's a lot of information out there that we could all study and take it. Whenever you get information, let me leave you with this. Like, there's people I go out there. I know in about 3.5 seconds if someone is honest or they're full of, you know what? Are you like me? And then people love you, and then some people get triggered and they actually run away from you because your truth will expose them. Never turn back. This is the fire horse year. I told you this. I told you the horsemen of the apocalypse are here. They're in the chat right now. Okay? The fire horse does not turn backwards. The fire horse keeps going and burning, and the matrix goes down this year. 1, 1, 1, 1. Put it in the chat. Put it in the comments. 1, 1, 1, 1. Year one, 2026, kid. New mom, 2023. Thank you so much for the super chat. Referee Michael calling the plays. Thank you so much. I like the quarterback calling the plays right at the line. Right? We got to make audibles on the line. I'm like Peyton Manning. Omaha. I appreciate that. And don't neglect different, I'm part of all different types of communities as I share on this channel. Don't limit yourself. There is also if you're on this and you made it to the end, there is a spiritual derangement syndrome. You're going to see this, that people, oh my God, 300,000 views. Oh, the alien said to do this. Let him do it. Let him do it. Let him do it. Let him do it's I am all the time. All the time. There's people that look for the savior outside of them, and then there's you that made it to the end of this podcast. Relevant videos are going to pop up over here and at the pinned comment. And you're going to study this, and we have the information on the reticular activating system. And these are the real, actual things that you can apply to your everyday life and dislodge. So until the clowns get more clownier, which we're seeing right now, then, so what is the point of this? This is so that you can identify the loop. You could see the fabric of the matrix. You could actually see the I know there's people that could see it as well. And now you saw the matrix. Until you actually realize that we're in a matrix, then it's time to have fun. Start game. It's time. And just like that, your whole life changes. You had no idea your whole life, and you will see it. It's going to get more and more. And some people will stay, but then you start to play the game. If you love this, you're probably going to want to click subscribe. We have a tremendous week ahead, and none of this is going away. It is constantly going to go this way. The fire horse constantly goes this way. And this is how you take back control of your everyday life. Yeah. I love each and every one of you. Start having fun with life. Go towards love, not fear. These are the basics that we talk about here. And I know you need, it's a daily thing. It's not just one episode. It's daily. It's 9 a.m. Eastern on this channel, daily. I do daily work. I have to remember things daily. We're constantly course directing. And what we're not doing is going back to the matrix. So once you got out of the matrix, some people went back to the matrix. I get, because it's difficult. Maybe your friend, but they weren't your friends, bro. They weren't your friends, sis. Do you resonate with that? It's hard. We're all empaths here. We all feel deeply here. Got a soul. You feel it. Your heart feels it. They weren't your friends. You are not controlled. Now you play the game. I am the defender of our everyday lives. No matter what comes your way, light warriors, just keep going. Check these videos out. I love you guys so much. We have a tremendous time here. I try to make you laugh and teach, and we do it all here. And be empowered today. I love you guys. Hang on. It's coming. Bye for now.